Hey everybody, quick video here today. I'm going to be going over whether or not you should be buying Volta stock at these new record lows. Obviously, anybody who's been thinking of buying more shares or is looking to get into Volta for the first time is probably well aware that Volta is now trading at record lows. Obviously, here's the 1-year chart, and this stock has never been lower than it has been today. Volta is trading right now at $1.07 per share at a $181 million market cap, lower than it's ever been. And I know a lot of you are probably wondering, should you buy more? Should you buy in for the first time, or should you sell now? And we're going to be going over that in today's video. So obviously, taking a look at some of the ratios right now, Volta is trading at a record low price to sales, record low price to book. Obviously extremely low, especially comparing it to a company like ChargePoint. Take a look at their price to sales, 15.5, price to book of 13.54. So what's the deal here? Why is this company trading for such a low valuation for where their sales and their book value is? And really what it comes down to is that this company is shrinking. This company is not growing anymore, pretty much. Their revenue for quarter 3, they're now guiding for revenues that are lower than what they were in the previous quarter, and Volta is continuing to just burn through cash like crazy. I mean, they've got really high selling, general, and administrative expenses that they've been working to lower. There was recently a piece of news going over a number of things that Volta has been doing. Volta has been doing a restructuring of their company. Obviously, they are going to be able to cut down on that giant operating expense number that's really been dragging them down this whole time. But really, it's not enough at this point to really make too much of a difference here. I think Volta was really kind of operating on the assumption that they were going to be able to complete their capital raise, which obviously they haven't been able to do so far, and it's looking extremely unlikely that they're going to be able to do that. So, I mean, I think Volta really kind of was setting themselves up, assuming that they were going to be able to have that happen, but it didn't. So this is where Volta is at now. You know, I still really do like Volta's business model. I think it's a really interesting and unique solution to kind of lowering the cost of charging, lowering the prices for drivers to use the stations. Obviously, you can offset some of those charging costs with that ad revenue. So I think that's really cool, and I really like that model, but obviously it's extremely capital intensive, and there are still a lot of risks with EV charging. So I know a lot of people are wondering now, is if Volta will end up being acquired by another company. And yeah, I mean, I think that it's getting more likely for that to be able to happen, although I'm not sure who exactly would go and acquire Volta, because they are such a different company, and they are still, you know, they're still a considerably large company right now. Now, Volta is getting really close to this $1 per share threshold, which they actually need to be over $1 per share in order to continue staying listed on the New York Stock Exchange. So there is really extreme risk here that Volta will end up getting delisted if they fall below $1 per share. Basically, the way it works is that if a stock on the New York Stock Exchange ends up trading below $1 per share for 30 consecutive days, then they end up getting delisted from the exchange. And that can have extremely devastating consequences. So obviously, if Volta does fall below $1 per share and gets delisted, I mean, it's going to be very devastating for Volta and their stock, but that is, I think, when some buyout potential might start up in a significant way. But even at this point, I'm not totally sure who might go and acquire Volta. I think that could be a future video topic here on this channel, but you know, it could be a charging company, or it could be some kind of a tech company. So it'll be very interesting to see what ends up happening here with Volta stock getting so close to $1 per share. Obviously, extremely risky right there. But yeah, for me, I mean, I'm not invested in Volta right now. I've never been invested in Volta. The stock was looking fairly good. You know, it was looking. I had my eye on it a number of months ago, but it's been just progressively getting more and more risky. What I really found appealing about Volta in the past was pretty much the same stuff that kind of makes them somewhat appealing today, which is that their stock has been completely devastated by all of these risks that have come on for Volta, such as the capital raise and the CEO transition. So really, with their newer guidance of $13.5 to $14.5 million of revenues for quarter 3 being lower than where they were in quarter 2, and the really dramatic slowdown that we've been seeing with their build out of their charger network. If you looked at Volta's charging map back in July this year, they said that they had 2,844 stations on their network. But if you look at them today, if you add these numbers up, they've only got 2,992, which, obviously it's improved since July, but it's still like 148 stations more. I mean, that's pretty much nothing compared to what Volta had been doing in the past, back when they still had a lot more funding available to them. I am very interested to hear what all of you watching think about Volta right now. I know a lot of you guys have probably been watching Volta. A lot of you probably own the stock. So let me know down in the comments if you're buying or you're selling Volta stock at these record lows. And be sure to check out some of my other videos on Volta. I'll see you guys in the next video.